Somebody say yeah. Say it again, say yeah. Somebody say yeah for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You look good out there, baby. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look here. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die. Look here. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long, I wish I could come out there where you are, baby. A long time coming, but I know, look at here, a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look at here. Let me say one more thing. I go to the movie and I go downtown. But all I can hear is somebody keep telling me, oh boy, don't hang around. It's been a long. If anybody know what I'm talking about, let me see you wave your hand. I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. But I've got to take my time and say this, look. Then I go to my brother. Yes, sir. And I tell him, I said, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me. He knocks me back down on my. Somebody say yeah! I couldn't last long, no. I know I'm able. I'm able to carry on. It's been a long, good God Almighty, a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look at here. One more time, look. But then I go to my brother. Somebody take your hand back and forth like this. Everybody. You sitting in the first balcony too. Help me, please. All over the auditorium tonight. All over the. Hallelujah. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. That's the times what I thought I couldn't last so long. No, I know, baby. I'm able. Change gonna come.
Diversity, the state of having people who are different races or who have different cultures in a group or organization. Our number one goal at the Smoking Glass Hour is to create diversity. We believe diverse conversations with diverse groups of people makes America better. Listen to our broadcast on Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Diversity is the only way to go in 2015. And don't forget, tell a neighbor, tell a friend about the diversity on the Smoking Glass Hour. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass. We are honored to have you as a guest tonight and want to thank each of you for your faithful support. Without further delay, allow me to introduce to you Mr. Baron Glass. Mr. Glass, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. Gotta say that we had a little technical difficulties starting out, so there's probably about a 5-minute delay. But see, when you're doing stuff like this, we are always aware that the devil can't steal the joy, and we know that there are things that we must do in order to keep moving forward. So we're going to continue to move forward. I'm going to do it a little different tonight. Thursday night is technically local and state politics, but Thursday night we're going to still do local and state politics. However, we will be joined by State Representative Katrina Jackson, as well as State Representative Marcus Hunter. Both of them hail out of the district in Monroe. I believe it's the 16 and 17 or 15 and 16, one or the other. They will be joining me live on the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. As well, we were just able to land another interview coming up for Monday night. Monday night's show will feature a doctor out of Oklahoma who has some very, very, very good information to present to you guys, rather. The devil still kind of got me going a little bit, but it's going to be okay. He's going to be presenting a lot of information on chronic illnesses, how hard it is to get medical attention for all of these things that are going on. So when we look at all of what's going on out there in the world, we know that at some point in time, we're going to have to deal with things that we really don't want to deal with. So when we look at everything that's going on in the world, we're going to start with, they're talking about the shooting that happened in South Carolina. And then they fast forward, or we fast forward, or all of us fast forward, and they deal about the Confederate flag. And you talk about racism. You talk about this, you talk about that. And every time you turn around, the media is spinning some type of spin to try to control exactly what it is that you are listening to. So here at the Smoking Glass Hour, our message is clear, that we are trying our very best to make a difference. Now, we are talking about some of the same issues that everybody else is talking about. However, some of these issues, most people are not even willing to talk about. So when it comes to all of those tough issues, when it comes to racism, when it comes to prejudice, when it comes to racial profiling, when it comes to gays, lesbian, homosexuality, all those other uncomfortable topics for some, to us, we're talking about them because we believe that a casual conversation will do all of us some good, especially when we get a better understanding. I was sitting there talking the other day, Sunday to be exact, to some of the guys that who meet and greet on a Sunday most often every week. And we got to talking about different things, starting with South Carolina shooting, then talking about some other things. And we got to talking always, because I'm always interested in politics. I'm always interested in what tell a neighbor, tell a friend is going to say. So some of the guys got to talking about some of the things going on locally, who they are going to support, who they are not going to support, what they think needs to change, or how they feel like the parish as a whole has made progress or had made progress, so forth and so on. So I like to take it I like to bring it from the streets and I like to take it from the street rather, and bring it right to your living room. Right where you are sitting in that lazy boy with your air, and I just went off air, and I just came back on. So again, we're experiencing some of those things. I'm going to try to get through this. I'm not going to hurriedly get through it, but I'm going to try to make sure that we can provide as much information as possible. I was also just talking with one of the candidates, and they were indicated to me that they have live and in color an individual destroying their signs. And I want to let you know that if you're out there listening, you know somebody that may be doing that. I believe that is a criminal offense, and a person can be prosecuted for doing that. Also, I was looking at one of the Facebook pages where one of the individuals had requested some information, so forth and so on, and it got off into a little discussion. I'm not sure how it went because I didn't try to follow it, but we're trying to bring information from the candidate directly to your home. So if you're not getting the information out there, the candidates have provided me with their bio and things of that nature, and you can always go back and listen to the archives. Now, also want to send a shout out, and this is not an endorsement. This is just a thank you. I believe Mr. Courtney Dunn's campaign used part of the broadcast for one of their promotional things when we actually read their bio, which we read everybody's bio who provided us with a bio. And the candidates for sheriff are as follows. Chief Bratton, Miss Bratton, Chief Clay Bennett, Mr. Hank Balls, Mr. David Crane, and Mr. Courtney Dunn. I believe there may be some other individuals running. I'm not real sure. Also for the clerk of court, we have Miss Lauren Rogers Young. We have Mr. David May, Miss Dina Domain, Miss Cherie Cox, and Mr. Greg Richardson. A lot of people are asking how to influence local politics. And that's my conversation, because I try to make sure that everybody is getting all the information that they can get. We all know that communities, they have problems, just like people. And some of those problems that the community have with the people is that some of the people have a lack of knowledge. Some individuals they fall in this uneducated populace. And then we look at some of those who have this lazy feeling that their vote does not count, and they in turn feel like no part of the process. And then if we look at some of the other things that go on, sometimes there's a lack of information, and sometimes people just don't know where to go to get that information. And last but not least, people are always saying that my vote don't count. Well, guess what? Your vote does count. So we're going to look at the entire Louisiana election process, and I'm going to provide you with information that when you leave here tonight, you can't say anything about, well, I don't know, or I don't know where I vote at, I don't know how I vote, I don't know how I get registered to vote, because I'm going to provide you with all that information courtesy of the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass. Okay, the question that some ask is, when can you vote? Well, the polling places, they open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. on election day. And I'm going to tell you when election day is. Okay, if there is a Saturday election date, then the polls will open, and this is for Louisiana, they will open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, early voting is in October, and it starts on October 10th through October 17th for the October 2015 primary election, from 8:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m., except on Sundays. Okay, early voting in November for the runoff is November the 7th through the 14th. And for the general election is November the 21st at 2015 from 8:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. again, except on Sundays. Now, I know that everybody out there where can you vote at can be easily found. Okay, you can visit the Louisiana Secretary of State's polling place locator. Again, you can visit the Louisiana Secretary of State's polling place locator. The state of Louisiana also has a free app for iPhones and Android phones to check voting location. It's just that simple. Okay, so there's no reason, because I see many people who have a cell phone, iPhone, Android, Samsung, whatever you want to call it, So now you can get a free app for your iPhone or your Android, and you can find out exactly where you can vote and the voting location. Now, the registering to vote dates. The deadline for the 2015 primary election is September the 23rd, 2015. The general election deadline is October the 21st of 2015. And you must register at least 30 days before an election. Now, how to check if you are registered to vote? Okay, you can call 1-866-OUR, O-U-R, VOTE, V-O-T-E, or you can visit the Louisiana Secretary of State's polling place locator, or you can contact your parish registrar of voters office. Now, this is for the entire state of Louisiana. Now, the registration eligibility is very important. Now, in order to vote in Louisiana, you must be a United States citizen, be at least 18 years old by election day, not be under an order of imprisonment for conviction of a felony, not be under a judgment of full interdiction for mental incompetence or partial interdiction with suspension of voting rights, and reside in the state and parish in which you seek to register. Now, if you don't want to do any of that, you can make it real simple. I know, again, a lot of people have cell phones, they have computers, they have what you call where you can get Wi-Fi at certain places. You can even go sit out at the library. You can sit at most public places that have internet service, and you can pull up Wi-Fi. And you can also register online. Okay, you may register to vote online in the state of Louisiana. The online voter registration form asks for your Louisiana driver's license number or a Louisiana special ID card, the last 4 digits of your social security number, as well as a home address in Louisiana. If you do not have a Louisiana driver's license or ID card, you may fill out the online voter registration form, print it, and mail it to the completed form to your parish registrar of voters. If you do not have a Louisiana driver's license, an ID card, or a social security number, you may mail either a copy of your current photo identification or a copy of a government document, bank statement, paycheck, utility bill, or other government issued document that contains your name and address, along with your printed and completed online voter registration form to your parish registrar of voters. Now, you can do it by mail also. You may vote by mail by completing the Louisiana voter registration application and mailing it, or by delivering it in person to your parish registrar of voters office. Now, Louisiana will send you a verification mailing card after it's received your registration form in order to verify your address, because your address is very important. Your registration must be completed at least 30 days before an election in order to be eligible to vote. Now, you can come in person. See, I've told you 2 ways. You can come online or you can come by mail. Now you can come in person. You may register to vote in person at any registered voter's office. At the registered voter's office, you will be asked for proof of age, residency, and identity. Now, to prove the age, the residency, and the identity, you should submit your Louisiana driver's license current, a birth certificate, or another document that shows your age, residency, and identity. For persons with no picture ID, a utility bill, payroll check, a government document that includes your name and address will also be accepted. In addition to the register of voters office, now here's the key. In addition to the register of voters office, you can also register to vote in person at these following locations: Louisiana Office of Motor Vehicle. Those who receiving government assistance, you can vote at the Louisiana Department of Social Services. You can vote at the WIC, register to vote at the WIC office, the food stamp office, the Medicaid offices, The offices serving persons with disabilities, such as the Deaf Action Centers and Independent Living offices, or the Armed Forces Recruitment offices. If you choose to register to vote at any of these public places that I just gave, you do not need to bring any additional proof of identification. It is just that simple. You will need to provide whatever is required for services received by that particular agency. Identification required for registration. To register to vote in person at a parish registered voters office, you must submit proper proof of your age, your residency, and your identity. Now, acceptable forms of identification include your local Louisiana driver's license, your birth certificate, or other documentation which reasonably establishes your identity, your age, and your residence. So for anybody that's out there who is listening, who may try to create an excuse that they do not know how to vote, they do not know where to vote, they don't have any of the information, they are lacking knowledge, well, all they have to do is go back and listen to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass and go to the archives and pull up this show, Election Information 2015, and all they have to do is press play. That information is there, so there is no excuse. Because see, what some of these candidates have realized, and I've talked to several of them in person to a great extent, they understand that the local vote is important. As a matter of fact, they understand that the black community's vote is even more important, because some believe that it's going to come down to that deciding factor. So if you're out there listening, you really need to get involved in the local political process, because your vote makes a difference. Your vote can change a lot of things, because the people that you put in place, you have to remember that sometimes your potholes that are filled on your streets, that is done by your local police jurors. And guess what? Police jurors are up for re-election in District 1, District 2, District 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You also, like I said, you have the sheriff's race that's going on. You have the clerk of court race that's going on. And by the way, I did talk personally with Senator Reiser today, and I believe he's going to be coming on not this week. We're trying to get him for next week. His schedule has been real busy, and this week he's decided to take a breather, and we respect that. I could have gotten him to come on, but I've always tried to give the individual respect. So we're trying to bring him on to talk about the legislative session as well, along with some of the things that's going on in education, Common Core. We're talking about education, the budget cuts. We're talking about the criminal justice system. We're talking about things that went on down in Baton Rouge with the governor. I believe I just saw where he vetoed a bill somewhere, and I believe it kind of made one of the senators, one of the representatives, pretty irate. As a matter of fact, I believe it was in one of these areas close to, it was on a broadcast earlier tonight where, the governor had vetoed, Franklin State's Representative Sam Jones, actually who it is, says the governor has some explaining to do. So once again, these individuals know that it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause right quick, and I'll be right back. You're listening to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. Stay tuned. Our ministry at the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass is not counting people in the pews or dollars in the plate. It's helping to make a difference, one person at a time. Join us on Spreaker.com or thesmokingglasshour.com. We are on the move in 2015. And by the way, don't forget to follow and like us on Spreaker.com.
For the man, too much for the man. He couldn't make it, so he's leaving the life he's come to know. Ooh. He said he's going back to find. Going back to find. Ooh, what's left of his world. The world he left behind not so long ago. He's leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Leaving on the midnight train. Yeah. Said he's going back to a simpler place and time. Oh, yes, he is. Now be with him. I know you will. On that midnight train to Georgia. Leaving on that midnight train. I'd rather live in his world than live without him in mine. World is his and hers alone. He kept dreaming, ooh, that someday he'd be a star, a superstar, but he didn't get far. But he sure found out the hard way that dreams don't always come true. Oh no, So he pawned all his hopes, and even sold his old car. Bought a one-way ticket back to the life he once knew. Oh, yes, he did. He said he would. Oh, he's leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Yeah. Said he's going back to find, ooh, a simpler place and time. Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna be with him on that midnight train to Georgia. I'd rather live in his world than live without him in mine. Oh, he's leaving on the midnight train to Georgia. Yeah. Ooh, y'all. Said he's going back to find a simpler place and time. Ooh, y'all. I've got to be with him. Oh, that midnight train to Georgia. Yeah. I'd rather live in his world than live without him in mine. Gonna board the midnight train ride for love. Gonna board, gotta board the midnight train and go for love. Gonna board the midnight train and go my world, his world, our world. None of his alone. My world, his world, our world. None of his alone. I got to go. I got to go. I got to go. Hey, I got to go. I got to go. My world, his world, my man, his girl. I got to go. I got to go. Oh, I got to go. My world, his
We're back listening to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. And I'll tell you, this chat line is blowing up with messages from Facebook and all these other places. I'll read you a couple of the comments. One of the comments is that you have no idea what that song means. So for whoever that is that's out there, I hope that you enjoy the song. I know that we're trying our best to incorporate everybody, within the show. If you listen to the outset of one of the commercials, we talked about diversity, and that's exactly what our aim and goal is diversity. Tonight, we're talking election information 2015. Also, there's Pastor A.F. Riggins, senior pastor, founder of Real Life Church out of Houston, Texas, out there listening, who just finished up his broadcast, live broadcast, and had a very powerful information that he delivered out there. So we want to make sure that we support some of these people that's out there. Now, some, you just can't be talking just to be talking. I believe that everything starts local and it goes abroad, local, state, and on to the national level. But here we are, once again. If you want to vote early, okay, early voting is October the 10th through October the 17th for the October the 24th and 2015 primary election from 8:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m., except on Sundays. Now, you have a primary and you have a general election. And some call the general election a runoff. Now, the early voting is November the 7th through the 14th, 2015, for the November 21st, 2015, general election from 8:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. Now, the registrar of voters will open their offices from 8:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. for each day of early voting. So what I'm stressing is that there is really no excuse that a person can use as to why they did not vote, other than just either don't want to vote or too lazy to vote and just really don't care about the process. Now, when you go to cast your vote early, you will be asked to identify yourself with either a photo ID or a signature on a voter affidavit. Let me make sure I say that. When you go to cast your vote early, you will be asked to identify yourself with either a photo ID or a signature on a voter affidavit. Now, you may use a driver's license, a Louisiana special ID, or some other generally recognized picture ID that has your name and signature. Now, if you need additional designated sites, by certain parish registered voters, you can go and visit the Louisiana Secretary of State's office early voting webpage. Again, early voting webpage. So they have something that's for everybody that's out there. Okay, if you want to vote absentee. Now, a lot of people are working offshore. They have jobs that require them to be away from home. So you may want to you may want to understand that you need to look at your schedule during this period of time, because everybody that's running for office is counting on you to vote. And I know that those who are out there are encouraging other people to get out there and vote, because I know that I am. It's kind of like an obligation or a passion to do so. Now, if you want to vote absentee, here are the facts. In Louisiana, you must have a reason to be eligible to vote by mail, unless you are a military or overseas citizen. Now, I'm almost certain you may want to check with your local registered voters office. If you're working offshore, overseas, or whatever the case may be, you may be able to do the mail-in ballot. We can check into that to make sure. Now, registered voters who are eligible to vote absentee include, make sure that the U.S. service members and their spouses and dependents. You are a student, instructor, or professor located and living outside of your parish of registration, or the spouse, dependent thereof. If you are a minister, a priest, a rabbi, or other member of the clergy assigned outside of your parish of registration, or the spouse, dependent thereof. Now, I have a message that was just text through Facebook that says that if you can provide the information regarding the service received, such as food stamp office, etc., in the comments, that would be very appreciated when you have the time. Let me go back to that information. I believe you're asking, listener, in addition to the register of voters office, you can also register to vote in person at the following location. And if you would, just message me back, caller, listener, and let me know if I'm providing you the information that you're asking. The Louisiana Office of Motor Vehicle, Louisiana Department of Social Services, the WIC offices, food stamp offices, Medicaid offices, offices serving persons with disabilities such as the Deaf Action Centers and independent living officers, or armed service recruitment officers as well. And I'm hoping that, okay, caller, thanks for that information, because like I said, we want to make sure that we get this information out. Now, you are or expect to be temporarily outside the territorial limits of the state or absent from your parish of registration during the early voting period and on election day. Okay, I'm giving you hardcore facts. You moved your residence to another parish more than 100 miles from the parish seat of your former residence after the voter registration books close, and the books close 30 days prior to elections. Okay, you are involuntarily confined in an institution for mental treatment outside of your parish of registration, and you are not interdicted and not judicially declared incompetent. You expect to be hospitalized on election day and did not have knowledge until after the time for early voting had expired, or you were hospitalized during the time for early voting and you expect to be hospitalized on election day, or you were either hospitalized or restricted to bed by your physician during early voting and on election day. Now, you expect to be out of your precinct of registration and upon the waters of the state both during the early voting period and on election day because of your employment or occupation. You are incarcerated in an institution inside or outside of your parish of registration, and you are not under an order, that is, of imprisonment for conviction of a felony. You are a program participant in the Department of State's Address Confidentiality Program, or finally, you will be sequestered on the day of election. So I gave you all of these pieces of all of this information, rather, to make sure that if you want to vote absentee, you are well aware. So what am I doing up to this point? If you lacked knowledge, okay, now you have more knowledge than what you had. And again, all you have to do is go back and listen to the archive on Election Information 2015 on June the whatever date it is in June. I'll get it here shortly. You can go and make sure that you can come back to this archive and you can find out what's going on. There's the 23rd of June in 2015. So you can go back and get the archive. So again, if you're out there working, you're pipelining, you're doing shutdown work and all this, that, and other, rather than take the chance of not being able to vote, you may want to check out these facts and act accordingly. Also, some of these candidates, matter of fact, all of these candidates that's running, you may want to provide some of your hardcore, your base voters this information so you can make sure that you get your base out to vote, because that's the important thing. Most people have about 15 or 20, sometimes a little bit beyond that, 20, 25 or 30% base vote that's automatically out there. You have to obtain the other 70 by going out and doing the things that you need to do. Now, voters who are 65 years or older, residing in a nursing home, and this is for family members, residing in a nursing home or residing in a veterans home may enroll in the senior citizen or disability program through their parish register of voters. So if you have a mom, a grandmother, or somebody who is actually there in rehab or whatever the case may be, you may want to get them enrolled in the senior citizen disability program. So we want to make sure that everybody's out there. I want to send a shout out to one of my good friends, one of my classmates, Mr. Heath Legg, out there listening tonight. Thanks, Heath, for listening. Maybe if you're also out there working somewhere, you can use this information, and you can also provide it to some of your other coworkers that are out there that may be working with you. Also, if you are accepted, then you be enrolled to automatically receive mail-in ballots for all elections. To enroll in this program, you must also enclose a copy of a photo ID, preferably Louisiana driver's license, a Louisiana special ID card, or other photo ID with name and signature, or a letter of oath that lists the name and addresses of 2 persons residing in your precinct who could make oath, if required, to the fact that you are physically disabled. To find out more information on what I'm talking about and how to enroll in these programs and additional qualifications, you can go out and visit the Louisiana Secretary of State's website. Now, let's look at how to request an absentee ballot. Okay, we know that a lot of people request this type of information. The voter requesting an absentee ballot must go to the Louisiana Voter Portal, Portal, and follow the steps listed. You'll click by voter button. I'm trying to go slow with this so you can get it. Then you'll type in your first name, your last name, and your zip code, or your birth month and year, and then you'll click the submit button. After that, you'll click the voting information tab. Then you'll hover on down, you'll click the online absentee request link found in the first sentence of frequently asked questions, and complete requested information and submit. If you do not want to request an absentee ballot online, you may also print an application to vote by mail, which you complete and mail to your parish registrar of voters office located in the courthouse on the first floor. You must request your ballot by 4:30 p.m. on the 4th day before Election Day, except for military personnel and their dependents. Now, U.S. citizens who reside outside of the United States, or if you are hospitalized, those voters now have until 4:30 p.m. on the day before Election Day. Absentee ballots must be received by your parish registrar of voters by 4:30 p.m. on the day before Election Day, except the following voters who have until 8 p.m. on Election Day, and they are as follows: military personnel and their dependents, U.S. citizens residing outside of the United States, or voters that are hospitalized. Now, this is real simple. You can track the status of your absentee by mail ballot. Now, you can also go to, and I'll give you this website, and it's kind of long, and if anybody need me to post it, that's out there in the chat, I can post it. It's www.rockthevote.com/get-informed-elections-state- let me read it over because I gave you a little information that was incorrect. It's www.rockthevote.com/get-informed-state/Louisiana.html, the number sign voting. And you can get that information. Now, what we're going to do right now, we're going to pause and let you absorb some of this information, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. You know, a lot of people talk the talk, without walking the walk. At the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass, we make an attempt daily to make a difference in the lives of others. Our broadcasts are to inform some and remind others about things going on in this world. The topic may be uncomfortable to you, but if you don't talk about it, how can we move forward? Why don't you join us each and every day right here on Spreaker.com or thesmokingglasshour.com. Let your voice be heard. We are on the move in 2015. And by the way, don't forget to like and follow us on Spreaker.com.
I'm taking you out tonight. I think you're so special. Have I told you that I loved you lately? And I'm so glad you're my baby. My heart is proud when I sing about you. And every day I know I can't live without you. And I don't mind, I gave up my hustle. For the things you need, I'll use my muscle. Girl, get your bag, we're going out. So we're going out to paint the town. Let's ride. We're going out tonight. So we're going out tonight. Let's ride. So let's ride. Your favorite dress on and put on your high heel shoes and some of that perfume, that one that smells so good on you. So good on you. Then after dinner, baby, we're going out to hit the town and dance and party all down. Then late night we'll drive up the coastline and watch the sunrise, just you and I. Let's ride. Let's ride. Going out tonight. So we're going out tonight. Let's ride. So let's ride. Going out tonight. Taking out my baby, gonna wine and dine, gonna take my baby high. We're going out. Come on, baby.
We are back broadcasting live with the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. Tonight we're talking election information 2015, and we're trying to make sure that all of those voters who are lacking knowledge, we're trying to make sure that we are providing knowledge to those individuals. So I'm asking you once again to tell a neighbor, tell a friend that we are on the move in 2015, and we'd ask that you join us as well. And when I say join us, I'm talking about help promote this individual information, because what we're doing is this. We don't have to do anything because somebody's forcing us to do it. We're doing this because we are concerned about doing this. We got a chat message that was just sent in live. Keep up the good work, B. I appreciate that out there. This is a caller from Caldwell Parish, and I know that we have a lot of listeners out in the southern end of the state, St. Martinville, Breaux Bridge, Lake Charles, Lafayette, that area down in Baton Rouge, the state capital, also in western Louisiana, Shreveport, out over in Delhi, places of that nature. We have them out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Georgia, North Carolina, Pueblo, Colorado, Houston, Texas, of course, Dallas, Texas with Mr. Aaron Hobson. So there are listeners that are out there. So if those candidates are out there listening, they may want to get in contact and find out what the pulse of the neighborhood is, because these people are talking, and they are talking every day. As a matter of fact, like I said, they are making sure that people can understand that they have a voice, and they are trying to make sure that their voice is heard. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you tell a neighbor, tell a friend once again. And if you happen to miss a candidate, also one of the candidates was telling me the other day that some people are, and I don't know how this is working, but some people are actually having signs in yards that have not gotten permission. So if you're out there listening, you may want to take heed to that. It may be best to get clarification as to whether or not permission has been granted. Now let's look at identification requirements, and this is for the state of Louisiana. But if you're out there in those other states, you can always go to your own state register of voters office and find that information out. To register to vote in person at a parish register of voters office, you must submit proper proof of age, your residency, and your identity. That's automatic. Acceptable forms of identification include your current Louisiana driver's license, your birth certificate, or other documentation which reasonably establishes your identity, your age, and your residence. Now, identification to cast a ballot, to vote in these elections, you must present a valid photo ID to your precinct officials. And your precinct is going to be pretty much where you vote. You may vote at one of the local, at the local library, or one of the local fire stations. I know that at one time they were using some of the schools or whatever, one of the schools, but I believe some of that may have changed. But you can always find that information out at the registered voters office, or any other generally accepted ID card that shows your name and signature. So you should know now that you can't go to the voting booth without proper identification. It's going to be impossible, and you probably will be turned away until you provide that information. So again, candidates, if you are out there, other than just providing your push cards and your information about yourself, one of the best ways that I find is good is when you provide the voters information that they otherwise would have to go and research. That might give you a thumb up or a point up, because that tells them that, okay, this person is at least, thinking about what it is that I'm doing. Or here's another thing: even if they don't vote for you, guess what? You are helping them exercise their vote during their upcoming election. And again, I'm going to ask this quiz at some point. when is the local election? What are the runoff dates? What are the primary dates? When is early voting? Because I'm going to see who all is out there listening, because what's going to happen is I'm going to poll some people, and I'm going to have you to call in, and number 10, 20, or however we do it, that number caller that calls in that get this information correct, we're going to either provide them a gift card, something at Main Street seafood where they can go out and eat, or somewhere within the parish where all of this stuff is going on. Because see, right now what's happening is that we are trying to promote some of the things that are going on in the parish. And I might add that right now all of this stuff is free to those businesses that are out there. So if you have something that you have going on, a special or something like that, all you have to do is reach out and tell a neighbor, tell a friend. If they get it to me, we'll do it. It's going to be free of charge right now. Of course, everybody knows that it takes money to do certain things. It doesn't take a whole lot of money, but it does take something to keep us going. So again, if you got anything that's out there that you want to be advertised, all you have to do is submit it to us. You can even email us at www.thesmokingglasshour@gmail.com. You can reach us on Facebook. You can reach us on Instagram. You can reach us on Twitter. You can reach us on Pinterest. You can reach us just about anywhere that's out there on social media. We will be glad to do that favor for you. Again, tell a neighbor, tell a friend. Also, we believe in diversity. We believe in supporting those from our own neck of the woods before we can go out and abroad. Now, if you would like to have a Louisiana Special ID, you may get a free one. It's real simple. You can get a free one now. I mean, it's real free at your office, a motor vehicle, by presenting your voter information card. Now, if you can't do that, then it's almost to the point where, you might be, quote unquote, lazy, or just one of those who want to complain and not really get out there and do a whole lot. If you need a new voter information card, you may contact your parish registrar of voters office or print a new one from the Louisiana Voter Portal online under the voter registration section. That's pretty simple. And again, it's www.rockthavote.com/get-inform/state/Louisiana.html $identification requirements. It's just that simple. Now, for those who may have been incarcerated and all the time saying that I can't vote, I can't vote, I can't vote, here's what you can do. If you have a felony conviction, a felony conviction, you must submit documentation to the Register of Voters in your parish showing that you are no longer under an order of imprisonment or that you have been pardoned. And I believe Ms. Masters told me a couple of weeks ago when I was obtaining information from them back at the time that when you receive your probation and parole release, she indicated to me that information is already with that information that probation and parole send you. You can confirm that by going to talk to Ms. Debbie Masters over at the Register of Voters office here in Caldwell Parish. Now, you must submit the documentation in person, or you may submit by mail if you qualify under the physically handicapped program by showing proof of your disability. Now, proof of disability includes either a current mobility impaired identification card, which that will be provided, a certificate of a medical doctor or optometrist certifying to the disability, and current documentation showing eligibility for Social Security disability benefits, Veterans Disability Benefits, Paratransit Services, the Office for Citizens with Developmental Disabilities, or benefits from the Louisiana Rehabilitation Services. Now, you can also, for more information, you can always visit the Secretary of State's website. Now, I know you can also visit your United States Congressman office, the United States Senator's office, the state senator, Senator Neil Reiser, the state representative over in Winsboro, Louisiana, and you might be able to just reach out to individuals. Now, again, candidates can help provide you with this information, so don't hesitate to ask these candidates for information that can help you. Because, again, the goal is to get you from out of the lazy boy recliner and go out and vote. And also, as you go out and vote, tell a neighbor, tell a friend, or take a neighbor, take a friend to go out and vote. We're going to pause right now and play a little tune or two, and we'll be right back.
You know, people always ask me why I do what I do. It was the teaching of my mother who taught me how to be strong and never waver when it comes to what I believe in as a man. She taught me that if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Here at WMAD Radio, the goal is to stand for something and make a difference in the world while I still have that chance. Thanks to my mother for all she has done for me. Join the WMAD team where we can make a difference in the world today.
All things ain't what they used to be now. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison is the wind that blows from the north and south and east. Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now. Oil wasted on the oceans and upon our seas, fish full of mercury. Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now. Radiation underground and in the sky. Animals and birds who live nearby our night. Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be. What about this overcrowded land? How much more will you from man? Can't you stand that?
Some sounds of Mr. Marvin Gaye, Mercy, Mercy Me. You're listening to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. Tonight we have been talking about election information 2015. Now, I've given you a lot of information. I've given you how, when you can vote, where you can vote, how to register to vote, and all of those other things. Not just how to register to vote. I've told you about voter registration, early and absentee ballots. I've told you about how to vote, if you want to vote early and things of that nature. I've also told you about how to request an absentee ballot, get on the senior and disability program. I've told you about the identification requirements, identifications to required to register to vote, identification requirements to cast a vote, if you are a felony, have a felony conviction. So I have told you almost everything there is about voting. So now, if there's anybody that's out there listening, and I know that there are, what you can do is share this podcast, this live show, to any individual, whether it's Facebook, whether it's in the inbox, whether it's on Instagram, not Instagram, but Google Plus, and all of those other places. And again, they don't have to like me. Only thing I'm doing is trying to provide this information to individuals so they won't be as ill-informed, and trying to make them more informed to the political process, because our message is clear that we are trying to make a difference, and we are going to make a difference in 2015, because we are on the move and we're trying to get you on the move. Now, I'm going to run these candidates down one more time. For the clerk of court locally here in Caldwell Parish, we have Miss Dina Domain, Mr. Greg Richardson, Miss Cherie Cox, Miss Lauren Young, and Mr. David May. Running for sheriff here in Caldwell Parish, we have Mr. David Crane, Mr. Hank Balls, Mr. Courtney Dunn, Mr. Mitch Bratton, and Mr. Clay Bennett. We have Senator Neil Reiser, who is the senator. We have the state representative. For some reason, he's Steve Pylant is the name that's over there in Winsboro, Louisiana. We have police jurors for District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4, District 5, District 6, and District 7. We also have the governor's race, the lieutenant governor's race, Secretary of State's race, the Attorney General's race, the Bessie Board for this district, which is the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. Remember, Thursday night, talking local politics, we have live State Representative Katrina Jackson and State Representative Mr. Marcus Hunter, who is the son of former State Representative Mr. Willie Hunter. Again, we're going to be bringing on Senator Neil Reiser for the 32nd Senatorial District. On Monday night, we're going to be bringing in, Monday night the 29th, we're going to be bringing on a doctor, which is going to be giving us a whole lot of information regarding chronic illnesses and things of that nature. So we have some things that we're lining out. We're also going to be continuing to talk about all of these local and current issues of things that going on about around in the world. So we want to say again, thank you for listening in to the broadcast. We know that a lot of people could be asleep and are probably asleep. So if you are asleep, and you listen to the archive, we want to thank you for even just coming back and listening to the archive. And if you're out there listening and you want to continue to receive some of what we're talking about, you may not agree with it, you may disagree with it, and that's fine. But we're still going to provide information from our point of view. We're going to make sure that we try to be as balanced as possible. But sometimes, as we stated, this information can be very uncomfortable, especially when you're talking about racism and all those other things. It's not uncomfortable for me because they are realities. Reality is something that's not too complicated for me, because what can you do about it? You either accept it or you reject it. If you reject it, you only make life a little bit harder. So what we're going to do is say thank you for listening in. Thank you for tuning in to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. We're going to close this segment out with playing some Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. So all of you Motown listeners that are out there, I want to say thank you for listening in. I see that people are sending friend requests now, so that tells me that people are out there listening. I want to make sure that everybody, tell a neighbor, tell a friend, that the Smoking Glass Hour is on the move in 2015, and we would love to have you aboard this love train. So we're going to play some lit Marvin Gaye, What's Going On.
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Right now. Right on. Right on. Everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply cause our hair is long. Oh, you know we've got to find a way. Bring some understanding here today. Oh, oh, oh. Picket line and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me. You can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Ooh. Right on. Right on. Right on.
Tell a neighbor, tell a friend. Once again, you have been listening to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. Before we close out, I want to send another shout out once again to my good friend, good buddy, Mr. Heath Legg. Thanks for tuning in tonight, Heath. I know this is your first night. You indicated that you've downloaded the app to your phone, and you can catch all of the Smoking Glass Hour archives from then until now. And you can catch all the live shows from now until then. So we hope that you will continue to listen, continue to support. Once again, on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend. Good night.